Okay, well, let's get started. Looks like we have a bulk of attendees. So, welcome to our, I like to call them somewhat weekly webinar series. That's been one of the silver linings of the pandemic that people are so used to this online format. Now we're finding we can really reach out to our customers through these webinars and educate people and help their programs grow. That's been really exciting. And that, as a small company, that's been one of our greatest struggles is we have all this knowledge and information about log rolling, and getting that out to you is so important to us. And so we are fortunate that we've been able to see a lot of participation through these webinars. And so if you have other topics that problems that you're struggling with starting your program, or ideas, or things that you want to pursue, please feel free to send us ideas, because if you're thinking about that, chances are other people are as well. And so we'd love to help you out and help you grow your program. So yeah, as always, just send those ideas to us, and we can put together a webinar about that topic. So I think I know most of you, but I'll just do a quick introduction. My name's Abby Delaney. I'm the founder and president of Key Log Rolling. I've been around log rolling my entire life, and I've not only competed in log rolling, but started log rolling programs and taught log rolling. And I just saw that people loved this sport and they had so much fun with it, but they didn't have access to it because of the weight of the equipment. We were using 500-pound wood logs. And so we came up with an idea for a portable synthetic log rolling log that we could ship anywhere in the world and make it easy to do and easy to learn. Our vision is to make log rolling an Olympic sport. After watching some of the Olympics the last couple of nights, my husband and I were saying, oh, log rolling would be such a great Olympic sport. People would love watching it. So we're definitely fired up about that. And you guys are all part of that vision and that mission. And so again, that's why we want to educate you and help you to grow really strong programs, so that we really view you as partners in that growth, and you're the ones that are teaching log rolling and sharing this wonderful sport with others. So with no further ado, I think a big topic, something important on everyone's mind when they're starting programs is how is this going to add value to our program? And of course, part of that is recapturing some of the cost and the revenue that you spend on your equipment. Of course, we all just want to have fun and have like cool things for our participants. But I know many of you are on tight budgets, and you have to make your equipment work hard. And I think that's a really great thing about the key logs and about log rolling, is that it's not just a toy. It really is a program, and you can charge for that service that you are providing to your members and participants. It's not just, a inflatable that people expect, oh, we just get to use this, and it's just playful. There is a skill and there are lessons that you can learn, and so there are a lot of programming opportunities that you can charge for. So I think in the description it was maybe 3 ideas. You're getting a bonus one, and they're sort of more like buckets of ideas of different revenue generating opportunities. So we'll just get started. I think the easiest one would be pool party rentals. This is sort of a no-brainer. A lot of you are already renting out your pool for either birthday parties or school groups or church groups, or to teams that are using it. And the key lock can be something kind of an add-on that you ask people, would you like, when you're renting out the pool for the party, would you like us to add log rolling? For example, for, kids' birthday parties, I think for parents, this is a total no-brainer. They often want some sort of theme, as you see here, this particular one, they had, it was obviously a log rolling themed birthday party, and they, made cupcakes or the cake. We see that a lot. Little lumberjack themed birthday parties. You say, and you can really tailor it towards whatever the cost, towards whatever like makes sense for your community. So whether it's $50 or $150 as an add-on to have the key log and a staff person there, I think for parents, they say, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like, we'll have a lifeguard there that's managing this activity for our kids and something super unique. We're already renting the pool. Yeah, sure. Let's just do an add-on. So it's not that much extra work for you. There's not a lot that you have to put into marketing it. You can just kind of add it to your menu of items for your pool party rentals. And that's a super easy way to recapture some of that. And like I said, log rolling is so new for people. So no one really has a preconceived notion of what you should be charging for it. So I think you can do really whatever makes sense for your community. Another just really quick obviously I talked about birthday parties, but school groups like Boy Scout, Girl Scout troops that are coming in to maybe do a pool party. I know like homeschooling groups, that's another like target market that you can reach out to, because they're always looking for, sort of those like different PE requirements or physical education things that they can get their families into. So the next sort of bucket of revenue generating opportunity would be instructional log rolling classes. And, of course, this is going to be a little bit more work on your end in terms of putting together the class, having a staff person for the classes. But again, you don't have to reinvent the wheel here. So I would take what you're already doing with some of your other classes, for example, your learn to swim lessons, or if you would prefer to put it into more of a bucket of like water, aqua fitness or stand-up paddleboard yoga, if you offer those types of things, you could kind of have it be more in that vein. I think for swim lessons, once kids go through those, once they get, up to level 5 or whatever, if they don't join the swim team, they're not necessarily coming back to the pool. So you sort of lose them at that point. But with log rolling, this could be something that you introduce in some of those, later levels of swimming. Maybe it's kind of a fun carrot at the end of the class just to introduce the kids, and then say, hey, if you're all done through swimming lessons, but why don't you now try log rolling? And you can fit it into the same, if you have a 4-week swim lesson schedule or a 6-week swim lesson schedule, I recommend really like just mirroring the log rolling lessons to that. So you don't have to do as much work scheduling wise. You could probably charge the same amount or more. Again, it's something unique and different that might not be offered in your region at a lot of places. And then you have your instructor, but they don't necessarily need to be water, they don't have to have a higher certification that the water safety instructors do. So you potentially don't actually have to pay them as much as they would for swim lessons. And that's again another really great way to, you can also probably have more kids in the class per instructor than you would for like private swim lessons. So I recommend about 4 to 6 participants per log. And again, another a great way to keep kids and families coming back to the pool, especially when you have families of kids of different ages where they're maybe already bringing the younger kids. The older kids have aged out, but they're coming to the pool anyway. So they're like, well, we're going to be there anyway. Let's sign them up for the log rolling class. Another part of instructional log rolling could be just clinics and workshops. And those don't necessarily need to be, like a 6 week or ongoing workshop. It could just be like a one night or one afternoon thing where, hey, we're going to have a 2 hour log rolling workshop or a 90-minute log rolling clinic. And that could be for kids or adults. And that's, again, this is new for people. It's unique to your region. So charge what you think is appropriate for your community and what makes sense for them. So another sort of adjacent to instructional log rolling would be just drop-in log rolling. So I think that there's less of an expectation that people are going to, have formal instruction, but that they're just going to get a chance to try it. So I wouldn't necessarily charge as much as I would for like a instructional log rolling class or a clinic or a workshop. But I do think that you can charge something. It's not just open swim, it's an add-on that you're, bringing to the pool, and you are having, a staff person at least manage the activity. They might not be giving individual instruction, but they are there kind of facilitating it. So it could just be like a drop. You could offer like a drop-in pass. Maybe they buy, it could be $5 or $10 for one time, or maybe you can bundle it together and, they buy 5 drop-ins for a little bit less. These could be all ages together, or you could have like a youth drop-in or an adult drop-in. Just as an example, I know I was recently speaking with an aquatics coordinator for university, but then they also are sort of the aquatics facility for the community. And so they have drop-in log rolling. It's $5 for their members, $10 for the public. And he said that they get roughly 10 to 16 people per time that they have drop-in log rolling. So I thought that was like a pretty good system for them. You also, let's see, I would also say that you could, I'm sorry, that you could do this as like maybe offer this the first time free, just so people get a taste of it, so that they see what it is, and then ongoing, then start to charge for it. But it's a good way to get people in. Maybe they also want to just do the drop-in to see if they want to sign up for a class. And then, I would, or you could start with drop-ins, just offer that. And then if it seems like it's going well, then maybe move into those classes, start offering those classes to people. Okay, let's see. Okay, and then sort of the last bucket would be special groups or events. So I know that for like university, this would be, well, one, I know we have quite a few university aquatic instructors on here, so I'm going to speak to you right now, but I would say your community programs are a great way to generate revenue for your with log rolling in the kind of summer season, or times when campus is not, or when students are not on campus. So, so for summer camps, if your university has sports camps or day camps, let's say it's a basketball camp. Well, they typically don't play basketball all day long. They're looking for other amenities or other things that you offer on campus that they can also do. So use log rolling as, again, an add-on. Say, hey, this is one of our menu items. You're here for the basketball camp, but, twice during the week, would you like to come to the pool and try log rolling? It's great for balance and foot speed and core strength, and it's safe, and it's going to be something unique that you can offer that other sports camps aren't offering. Again, I think that's a no-brainer for coaches and camp coordinators. You, and even like events that are, or camps that aren't necessarily that are outdoor camps. I know like at University of North Carolina, they had a girls camp and it was all outside. And so they actually brought like an inflatable pool outside onto the quad and set that up and had that part of the field day for the camp. So it doesn't necessarily just need to be in the pool. Another thing that I know that a lot of universities will host like Boy Scout jamborees or Girl Scout jamborees, like big festivals and events for those groups in the summertime. Again, a lot of those camps have log rolling at their actual camp, so they're familiar with it. So they're kind of looking to mirror some of those camp activities that they offer at these larger events. So definitely encourage you to, get the word out there. Put it on your menu of offerings. The other thing would be, if you're hosting, let's say, a larger conference at your facility, and they're always looking for activities for conference attendees to do. Outside of the sessions and stuff. And so this could be a super fun add-on that you offer that people would pay for as part of the conference. If you're do like corporate team building activities for your community, or different like staff groups and things that come in. Offer log rolling is super fun for people to learn as a new activity together. And so that's, when they see that and they're like, oh, like, whenever you're an event organizer and you're looking for something for the event that you're planning, usually looking for something that's unique and that's going to stand out. So this is really that. And again, I think you can charge a premium for that. And so it definitely would put that on your list of things that you offer. So, again, just kind of to recap, I think making sure that you are putting this out there into your literature, into the things that you offer. You will have to do some marketing on the front end, because I think that people, if they don't know that you offer it, they're not necessarily going to ask for it. But I think once it's out there, they see it and they're like, okay, yeah, let's try that. Let's sign up for that. So, and then, having at least one staff person that is, there facilitating it, managing it. They don't need to be an expert, but they can, as long as they know how to get the log in the water, they know how to fill it up, they can kind of manage the activity and give some beginner, tips and stuff for those activities. I think that is for sure sufficient. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much, let's see, all I have for you right now for those 3 or 4 ideas. Are there any questions that you guys have? If you want to throw them actually into the Q&A, it's that little box at the bottom. Let's see, let me find it so I can see. Questions, let me see. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I didn't talk about. Let's see how, okay, here, was in the wrong box. Okay. We are thinking of adding a log rolling class to our aquatics school. Do you have a sample curriculum that we could access and then adapt to our program? Yes. Okay. That's a great question. We do have sample curriculums. We have, and it's actually really great. It's like broken down even by, so I think we did it based off of like a 6-week class. But then and then each class is broken down, and I think it's like a 6-week class, 45 minutes. and each class is broken down into like 5 and 10 minute increments. So then you can take that, and let's say you have a 4 week class or you have an 8 week class. So you can and it's all on a spreadsheet. So it's pretty easy for you to then take that and then tailor it to what you need. So reach out to me directly and I can send that to you. It takes you lesson by lesson. It gives kind of like the, what the goals are for each lesson and then what the activities are. We also have a, sort of like a report card or, matrix that you can use to give to parents. I know, a lot of parents when they have expectations about, I want to see what my kid learned. I want to see, how far are they getting? So we even have a little kind of like sample report card that you can use. So the instructor can say, for each child, okay, they were able to stay on for 30 seconds with 2 training fins, and they were able to successfully roll forward and backwards 5 times in a row. So all those little kind of things that people like to see their progress, we do have that. So reach out to me directly and we can send that to you. I'm happy to sit down with you or your staff and kind of go through it so that you understand, how it works. But again, I think that's another thing that really makes log rolling something that it's not just, a toy. It's not just a plaything that we're just going to splash around. It really is something that parents feel, okay, we signed up for this lesson. We got some good formal instruction. They're actually learning a skill, and it feels, worthwhile for them. Okay, let's see. How should I market my program to the community? What's the best log to person ratio? Okay, first marketing. I know as aquatics coordinators, you're like kind of have to do everything. And you might not have a marketing degree. And so it's like, okay, how do I get the word out? Especially if people aren't coming to the pool. How do you get those, if they're not already coming to the pool, how do you get them there to see all the things that you do and that you offer? So a couple weeks ago, we did a webinar on, how to do like a community event. I think trying to get, the word out there in a lot of different ways. If you do have some community events that are in the public, like festivals or 5K fun runs and stuff, you could set up this inflatable pool and have log rolling as part of it. That's a kind of a whole other topic of education and discussion and we have blogs and stuff that we've written about it. So if you could or reach out to me directly to learn more about that. But that's a great way to just like visually get it out there. Inviting your local news stations or newspaper news media people to come and try log rolling. Because again, it's so unique. It's fun on TV, it's fun on the radio, or it's great in, photographs. They'll be excited to tell the story about this new program that you have. And then just really be ready, I think, at all those opportunities where you're out there and showing people log rolling to also have, on hand, hey, here we're offering drop-in log rolling on Sundays from 2 to 4, or here, sign up for our log rolling class. So just make sure that when you are taking advantage of those marketing opportunities, that you also have, you already have kind of planned like what you're going to do, so that while you have people's attention, that they, you're able to say, here, sign up here, register here, is super helpful, so that you're not just kind of like spraying the information everywhere, but you're not really, that they're seeing it, but they don't know how they can come back to it. Other, groups to just, send out flyers to local different groups. Like I said, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, different teams, church groups. I mentioned the homeschooling community in certain areas is really large. And I heard from one facility in Nevada that they said, this has been really popular with our homeschool community because it's great for all ages. So when they have families coming in that are, have kids that are 6 years old and 17 years old, they can all do the activity together and still have a lot of fun. So that, again, that's just you kind of have to do a little bit of legwork on the front end to get the information out there. But once people are in and using the logs, I think that there is good word of mouth about it. Again, it's unique. People like to talk about it. People like to put it on social media. Let's see. Oh, I like that idea. They have their log rolling log out in the pool so that people see it and it generates buzz. I know that's another thing I see. A lot of people just store it on the pool deck. So people see when, swimmers are going by, water fitness people are there for swim lessons. They just ask about it. Hey, what's this log? And then it gives you an opportunity to talk about it. So I think, let's see, are those, about the log to person ratio. I think I mentioned, but I like, obviously the fewer the people per log, the more time on the log you're going to get, but also people do need rest, and log rolling is really fun to watch. So I would recommend about 4 to 6 people or participants per key log. I think that gives enough of the turns happen pretty quickly. So you're not waiting in line too long. Once they start to get a little bit better, then you can have 2 people, up on the log at the same time. So then they're also, you're actually getting more time on the log. And again, as I mentioned, it is fun to watch, but people do need a little bit of rest and break, and it's great for them to watch others to learn from them too. One thing that I really like to do when I'm teaching is start to ask the other participants, oh, okay, like what could they have done there to stay on a little bit longer? What did they do really well there? So that so that they're learning to recognize the instructions that they should be cueing in on, and they're visually, if they're a visual learner, they're watching someone else see what they do and, oh, okay, I should do that too. So it's like, again, log rolling is pretty engaging. And so the kids that even, if they're not actually up there doing it, they can still be watching and learning from others. Okay. Let's see. I think we had another question just come in. What kind of inflatable pool do you use when you were using when marketing size and type? Okay, sure. Yeah, we can. So the inflatable pools. The kind of easiest one to find out there right now is this Intex. It's called the Intex Easy Set pool. It comes in a couple different diameters, the 15-foot diameter and 18-foot diameter. Ideally, I would say if you could find a 15-foot diameter, and then it's usually in like a 32 or 36-inch depth. The way that those pools work is there's like an inflatable ring, and then as you fill it up with water, the inflatable ring raises, and then that raises the size of the walls of the pool. And for some of these events, or even or just like a summer camp, if you're doing it for kids outside, it is nice to have more of that kind of like knee to waist deep water. So it's not so deep. That 18-foot diameter pool comes in, it's like actually 48 inches, which is 4 feet, obviously, and that's like deeper than you need. With that said, you don't need to fill it up all the way. But then the diameter gets a little bit smaller. So anyway, if you can find that 15-foot pool, like in a 32-inch depth, that's great. But if not, I know there's a lot of 18-foot ones out there that are 48 inches in depth. I would just recommend not filling it up all the way. Specifically in this picture, actually, I know someone asked, what is in this picture. That is somewhat of a custom pool. It's actually an inflatable Gaga ball pit. If you've done youth programming, that Gaga ball pits it's like this dodgeball game. And there are like inflatable pits. There's also ones that they have that are, plastic sides or wooden sides. But so we actually took an inflatable Gaga ball pit and then had a custom vinyl liner made for it. So if your recreation facility has a Gaga ball pit, you could actually potentially find, line it with a tarp or find some sort of vinyl liner for it. if this is something that you think that you're going to be doing a lot, having like outdoor events and using an inflatable pool, you also might consider looking on Alibaba, which is the kind of like Chinese Amazon, but you can find a lot of manufacturers there, and they can make you a custom pool that's vinyl and that is, pretty durable. I know a lot of, I've talked to a few people that have like a summer log rolling business where they go around and they do these kind of events at, they set up log rolling demonstrations at festivals and events and stuff. And so they're tearing it down and setting it up quite a bit. So they want something more durable. And they were able to have one custom made with like their logo and everything for about $5,000. So if it's something that you think you're going to be doing for a while, that might be something to consider. And again, just reach out to me directly. I can probably help put you in touch with a few different manufacturers that have made them directly. And I've heard it's a pretty easy process, actually, surprisingly. So that could be something to look into. So I think that that was the last of the questions. As always, feel free to reach out to me directly if you have questions. But yeah, these different programs that you can recapture revenue back to your program, I think is really important to pursue. If you do have questions about how to price things, again, I hate to like give you really specific, like it has to be $15 for this class, because, some of you are maybe catering more towards like your like an HOA or a country club or a higher level like fitness center. And then others might be, you're a local community park and rec and you want to make this really affordable and you just want to get a little bit of revenue back. Or some of you, for universities, you need to offer something, free to your students, but maybe for those community events, like I mentioned, the sports camps or conferences or special events that you host, or, you charge a little bit more for non-students. I think that everyone needs to kind of find what works for their community to make it affordable, but also make it, worth your time and effort that you're putting into providing this service. So I'm happy to lend an ear, lend any input, and tailor it towards your program. So happy to talk. So thank you so much. It's great to, again, see all your names and see some new names as well. And good luck with the end of the summer and the start of the school year programming. I know that's a really busy time for a lot of you. So take care and talk to you later. Thanks so much.